Hey everyone, welcome to my channel.
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Hands in the stove, how the faucet's running and I keep looking at you.
And how I come up with this shit up in the
Off on my birthday, I want money. Welcome back, gang. Welcome back to the Pretty Candid podcast. I'm your host here, Mr. H, per usual, recording here at .yhq. Thank y'all so much for letting me record today. And as you can see, it's a celebration. It's a real holiday. It is my birthday, you guys. Why not make it a whole episode? Let's unpack some hot takes that I like or kind of don't like, whatever. Or also, let's talk about some things that I've learned in this stage of 30s, right? We're going to talk about the good, bad, ugly, indifferent, and the funny. So go ahead and don't forget to hit that bell. Leave me a like now. Even if you're new here, I promise you're going to love it here. And if you are a returning cousin, but you might have forgot to hit the bell, hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit it now. That helps get my videos pushed out into the algorithm, and I really do appreciate it. And I can create more content for who? You. Exactly. You probably got a Candid cocktail this week. And don't, babe. I'm going to be so honest with y'all. Let's make this a little poll, right? I'm really considering doing a birthday vlog to show y'all, like, what I be on outside the podcast, right? And a lot of the reason why I'm not doing a Candid cocktail this week is simply because I know I'm getting tore down boots next weekend, y'all. Not even gonna lie to y'all. My birthday's on the 6th. I know I'm finna get tore down. I'm recording this early, so like, I'm not even gonna do that to myself. I've been in the gym. I've been doing really good, okay? I don't care if it don't look like it. Just know I've been in there. Don't worry about what's over here. Just know I ain't really drinking like that today, okay? Okay. Let's jump right into the topics, okay? So, I got some hot takes. We ain't gonna make them too long. But I just wanted to kind of get into it. Stuff that I've observed, stuff that I've learned, things that I've been noticing, right? So, the first one, because since I'm just in my bag, a birthday bag, let's get in my opinion bag. First one, chemistry is not compatibility. Is a lot of times you can have chemistry with somebody. You know how a lot of times you meet somebody and right off bat things is just like magnetic. You like, oh my God. We start, oh, that's my twin flame and all of that, right? Men, y'all do it too. Y'all not excluded from this, right? However, compatibility is a little different. That's for the grown club, right? Chemistry kind of is like a dopamine thing, kind of. It does something for your nervous system. You feel it all over, and so a lot of it's just based off of like that immediate feeling, right? Whereas I feel like compatibility is more so of like a alignment. Matter of fact, it's a lifestyle alignment, I would say, more than anything. Because I feel like compatibility holds more weight over chemistry, just because chemistry could be here now and gone tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Versus compatibility, you'll be more prone to have longevity in that. Versus just, we just operating off chemistry. It's like, when you think of chemistry, what do you think about, right? It's more so just the feeling and the liking of what's happening right there in the moment in the experience, right? Where I feel like compatibility comes up, like I said, it's an alignment for life, right? So I feel as though that's more so speaking to the values of a person, right? So me and this person one, I met them, and off the bat, I feel like we hit it off. They understand me. I understand them. I like how they vibe. We got a flirty energy on top of that. Everything just feels so magnetic, right? But the thing about chemistry, a lot of times when we kind of take it in too early and try to mask it as something else, more oftentimes than not, that chemistry ends up either turning into some type of lustfulness, toxicity, or even worse, it could be like none of those things, but it's somebody who's emotionally avoidant or unstable or unavailable, right? Whereas when you start thinking about compatibility in a person, you think, like I said, about the values, their future. Things just align differently. You're on the phone with someone like all night. Let's say y'all on the phone 4 hours. Y'all just met at, I don't know, Jersey Mike's last week. And ever since y'all talked and exchanged numbers, it's magnetic. It feels amazing. Everything is just, oh my God, right? Y'all on the phone all hours of the night. However, you could be on the phone all night with somebody. That don't mean shit about how they look at life. That doesn't mean shit about if they really align with your future self and what you trying to do. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing if the timing really ain't right and they're not accountable and their communication is, because the communication at first could be seeming good because the chemistry is so good, but compatibility, the communication styles, how they communicate when they're angry, you got to really factor that in. Because if you don't, you be out here vibing off chemistry. Say, chemistry could like get you in the door with somebody, right? Chemistry could get you in the door with somebody, but the compatibility is what's letting you know it's safe to stay there, right? Are you with me? Okay. Stop operating out of just the chemistry. Worry about the compatibility too, okay? All right, that's my first hot take. I came in hot, huh? Okay. So the second one. Okay. And I don't expect everybody to agree. I could care less if you do. I feel like the healing language is kind of being used against others or like kind of weaponized, and I ain't jacking that. And so we're going to kind of go into that. I got notes so y'all know I'm serious. That's triggering. I'm protecting my peace. That person's a narc. They're showing, like, here's the thing, right? A lot of people understand what things are now, and I am so grateful for that. I am so grateful that for years on end, it seemed like people wasn't getting it. You're getting it now. It's clicking. Now, here's the problem that I'm having, right? Because then people start doing stuff like, oh, my trauma. When like 10 years ago, you wasn't even on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wasn't thinking about it. It didn't. But now, because social media is how it is, people talk, trends come in, things happen, and people discover new things and ways of living and healing. I think that more and more people use that for an excuse. So, like, for example, I feel like the people who, I'm protecting my peace. Are you protecting your peace or are you an avoidant? Are you protecting your peace or you don't want to deal with the hard truths? You know what I'm saying? Everything is about perspective, obviously. So like one person might feel like, hey, you running from the conversation. The other might feel like, no, I'm just protecting my peace. But I'm going to tell you something. Even when stuff get uncomfortable, you supposed to sit in it to get to transition to the next place you're trying to go. So I feel like it's just a lot going on when it comes to that. Like that's my trauma. Stop using your trauma for the reason why you can't apologize. Stop telling everybody how that person is a narcissistic MF, but whole time you inherited a lot of narcissistic traits and you now use those when you go out here messing with people, dealing with people, or even in family. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful about the words you use and what you're doing behind the words you use. So like you could say all day, for example, like, oh, my attachment style. Do you really have a bad attachment style, or do people take for granted your attachment style, or are you just overly too invested in your attachment style and you're not looking to learn anything different? You just want to stay as is. You know what I'm saying? Stop weaponizing the healing words, the therapy words. And I brought this up in a past episode, but I just really had to get back to that part of it. Okay. All right. Take number 3, and I mean this. I'm really passionate behind it. I think TikTok made it hard for long form content, like for instance, certain YouTubers, right? So I will say for myself, when TikTok first came out, I wasn't on there making content. I didn't have the podcast at the time. I was doing something completely different. And so I feel like at the time when it first got the ramp up, YouTubers probably weren't getting hit as hard. As it is now, the way people's attention span works, I feel like it's harder to gain a consistent audience that is willing to tune in every time on schedule, because it's so easy to go look at a clip of what I said and it's 35 minutes. Look at a 22-second clip versus the whole 35 minutes. And a lot of people operate like that. This is not to shit on TikTokers. This is not to shit on TikTok or anything like that. It's just something I noticed. And I feel like because of the way the algorithm works, because now, like, y'all know now we got YouTube shorts, reels on Instagram, because everybody is realizing, like, damn, some people attention span ain't that long. They have a 10-minute feature on TikTok. But really, the shit that's going up is the 45-second videos, the 30, 20-second videos. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it makes me almost feel like sometimes, like, everybody's kind of chasing the whole, like, being viral, going viral, the engagement. And I'll say this just for me. I'm not one of them people where I get on here just to talk shit to y'all. I'm not one of them people where I get on here just to, like, oh, no, I get on here to really talk to y'all because there's some things that I wish I would have known back then. I'm going to share with you. Or, hey, let's have a key. Let's talk. Let me introduce you to highlighted people around the city, versus that might not land viral, right, on the algorithm because it's so long or it's too many pieces, versus on TikTok, everything is short form. So it's like the chances, you know, I just feel like it's a little bit harder for the YouTubers. Obviously, I'm not talking about if you've been way established, like especially the girlies, the boys who was on there 2017, 18, 16. Y'all got it on rap. Y'all been got paid plaques. I'm trying to get there. Okay. Am I a little biased by it? I might be. So, the last hot take I want to get into, right? And this is because I see this a lot. I've experienced it more than too many times. Like, so I just want to tap in on this real quick. I want y'all to stop doing the old hoe versus young hoe comparison. And I know y'all like, Marissa, hear me out, right? The thing that really gets me is, if you an older woman, you ain't better than that younger woman. And if you a younger woman, you not better than the older woman, right? And I feel like this wasn't, I remember being like 19, 20 and having women in their 30s, women in their 40s, having something against me or feeling some type of way, especially like in workplaces or certain social settings, whatever the case is, right? Now, the thing that really get me is like, everybody's so shady about the age, but either age group don't save you from the shade. If I'm being more honest, I feel like throughout time, especially if you a woman, like the side of which you throw the shade on just switches over time. That's it. Ain't nobody older better than nobody younger, or younger versus, older. Ain't nobody older, younger, better than the next. That's how I look at it. More of an insecurity thing, right? So from what I could tell in my experience, the older women will not like the younger women because her looks, right? So she looks still youthful. She has all of this opportunity still. She's younger. She's more free-spirited. And 9 times out of 10, we younger, so our values and how we live in life and do things is way different than the older woman, right? And then I think younger women hate on the older women off the strength of, oh, they're more established. They've had so much time to take care of certain things. Or sometimes the older woman is still looking youthful, so they look at them like competition. I done been on both sides of it. I done had the 19, 20, 21, 22, 23-year-olds hating on me, and I done been on the other side of it where I got like the 50-year-old woman, the 47-year-old woman hating on me too, right? It's an insecurity. And I think when we can really address that part of it, the older women feel like, oh, I'm getting up in age and oh my God. And younger women feel like, oh, I'm young in term, but I got a lot of life to live and I got to fill in these gaps and get money and do this and that. We all are fucking women. And to be quite honest with you, like I play around a lot, but if you taking part of that conversation, old hoe versus young hoe, this, that, and the third, first of all, quit calling women hoes. I'm going to say it for the sake of the segment, but that's number one. But also, I do want to say, like, y'all don't have to compete with each other. If you older, younger, you don't have to compete with her. If she's older than you, see if she can become big sis. See if you can get a little pointers. Y'all ain't got to be buddy-buddy, but lean to her, you know? Lean to her only if you know she's safe. The older women, you do not have to go against the younger women or feel no type of way about them either. We are all in community. Ain't no old hoe versus young hoe. We the hoes together. Like, damn. Like, okay, maybe we not the hoes. But y'all get what I'm getting at. right? So I just wanted to bring that up. Let's cut that. We fresh in 2026. Let's cut that whole conversation. Like, and I want y'all to know, social media, the men especially, because y'all know the men don't be for us. The algorithms, they are eating that shit up. Everybody feel like we got to compete when we all can literally just live our lives and support each other. Okay. Whew. Came in hot. All right. Glad I got that out the way. Those were my hot takes for the week. Let's discuss it in the comments. Tell me what you think about everything I just said, especially the compatibility versus chemistry and the old hoe versus young hoe. All right. Now, birthday girl opinion ran over. I feel like my early 30s, like right when I turned 30, I felt like, oh, I'm 30 and grown, like, you know. But I feel like from 30 to now, finna be 34, I feel like I went through a whole identity shift, and nobody really like tells you about that, or like they tell you it's gonna be different, you know, your body gonna hurt, your knees is bad, but nobody's really telling you like, hey, you finna go through a whole shift. So I kind of wanted to give into that. So I feel like the shift is more so a piece of you, if not all of you, dying because you're evolving. Does that make sense? So everything you knew prior to, and obviously some stuff is gonna stick, but everything you knew about you is definitely finna change when you get in those like 30 to 34, I would even say 35 mark, right? So one thing I felt like I grew out of quickly was, and I kind of maybe did it like the year before, I wasn't in survival mode no more. So I was actually taking time to go about life and live life and enjoy it. I wasn't just filling gaps and trying to do stuff and stay busy to keep my mind. And I really got a chance to dig into me like, okay, well, what don't I like? What do I like? What is something I don't allow from people? What is something that I give back to my community or people I say I love? You know, it gets to a point where you get real in depth in your mind about certain things, right? So outgrowing that whole like kind of like super guardness or like super like just survival mode, you get to actually start living, right? I feel like that's one thing. Another thing I would say is like, I don't resonate like very well with chaos anymore. I remember a time in my life where like chaotic meant that I was still moving and it was still motion, and I was okay with that even if it was chaotic, right? But now I'm at that point where if and I mean this, y'all, if it's a sprinkle of, oh, I gotta go. I can't. I don't thrive well. I don't evolve how I want to. And honestly, my attitude is not going to be well in those type of environments. So I've noticed my craving, I guess you could say, or need to still be in chaotic environments totally dropped off. Totally dropped off. And it got to the point to where I'm not dealing with anything that's that. Literally. Just cut some shit off that was chaotic. So, yeah. I feel like also another thing is I never really, am I lying? Okay. I would say I have been reactive in the past, but I feel like more and more, I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a fuck, actually. I'm not reactive as I used to be. I literally just had somebody try to play with me the other day, and I remember thinking like, damn, about 2 years ago, I would have been on her ass. But today I'm just like, oh, damn. It's just crazy how like life and you go through like a whole identity shift. Like you are not doing the same things that you're doing. And some people like, oh, you're supposed to do that. No, it's bitches that are, like I said, 38, 47 that are still on that type of time. They don't evolve, you know, or they decline that identity shift, right? I think another thing to just kind of pull it all back in and kind of finish this one out, I think another two things that kind of coincide is I don't feel the need to have validation of things that I do, but I also don't feel the need to explain to people why I've changed and evolved, right? So I don't mind being misunderstood. You think that I'm upset and I think I'm better than, and I think I'm this and I'm that, and oh, you stopped doing what you used to do, so you're not this no more, and you feel like you know what? as much as I hate that that's the narrative that you're spinning about me, so be it. I'm not reactive to it. I can't do anything about what you think of me now. All I can do is something about what I got going on, which is what I'm doing, which is why you're saying what you're saying. I don't care about being misunderstood. I don't give a fuck about validation. I never really have, but I think in the back of my mind when I was like 27, 28, I kind of was like, okay, they see me, they see me. At this point, if you see me, cool. If you don't, better. You know, like it's the need for it. And a lot of people ain't gonna be honest with you and tell you like, oh yeah, I need validation. I promise you, for every 10 people, 7 of them need validation in some type of way, and they just will not figure it out. Whether that be through a job, a project, an experience, a title, a relationship, anything. A lot of people are looking for that shit. And I am here to tell you, if that's what you've been on, when you get in them early 30s, please don't decline that identity shift. A lot of shit is finna come full circle. A lot of people are finna drop off. And it's needed for you to evolve into the future self that you always see. So always keep that in your mind, please, okay? All right. Ooh, y'all, I got a little deep. Okay, so we're going to go to the next topic. So I got this question. I had put a link the other day. I don't know if everybody's seen it, but I got this question. And it said, what did the year 33 teach me? So I wrote this down because I had to really think. I was like, damn, I didn't taught me a lot now, but let's delve into it. So I titled this segment, What Did 33 Teach Me? And so I would say I learned 3 solid lessons, right? Because I want to say I think the year 33, it taught me more about myself. It definitely stretched me thin, thin and bend. But I think also 33 made me choose me. Like, I was at the point where, like, you can't choose nobody else but you right now. So either you're not going to choose you or you're going to. And that's really big because a lot of people don't choose themselves. You know what I'm saying? So the 3 lessons that I learned, and we just got done talking about this. Your peace will cost, okay? And what I mean by that is that, okay, so look at it like this. Your peace is going to cost you, right? But that chaos costs way more. The chaos is way more fucking expensive. The peace is going to cost you probably relationships, like friendships, stuff like that. It might even cost you like what you think you love. You love that job. You love this. You love this hobby or this bullshit that you be doing, these bad habits that you've attracted and held on to. No. Your peace costs, but that chaos costs more. So I've learned that, like, damn, my peace is way more in value than the chaos. And I end up having to pay a higher price when I let chaotic shit and people come around me. And so, yeah, I'm not going for it. And I feel like everybody should feel like that. I think we will all be in safer environments and with safer people and where we want to be if we operate that way. Peace costs. Chaos costs more. That's the first lesson. The second lesson I would say definitely is I can outgrow people and family, friends without hating them. I'm going to be real with y'all because y'all know I don't flodge on here. I'm like 75% with this. I'm pretty good. That 25%, I'm pretty sure it's going to creep up soon. But I do kind of feel like overall, if we grow apart, if you go against this shit with me, if you anything like that, I literally have to realize that this is divine timing. You're not supposed to be around me. I'm not supposed to be around you. We're not supposed to have no type of doings, right? And so outgrowing doesn't mean I hate them. Outgrowing don't even maybe mean that they hate me. It just means that we're not in alignment no more. And so if I don't rid myself for you or vice versa, I can end up in deeper shit, which is the chaos that's going to cost more, right? And sometimes it ain't even chaotic people. It's just people or things that don't necessarily just fit what you're trying to do no more. You keep trying to put that puzzle piece in there and it's not turned this way, it's turned that way and it's flipped and you keep trying to put It's not, you see me, you feel me? So I would say that's lesson number 2. Lesson number 3, I really want to put an emphasis on this. You are allowed to want more for yourself and even those around you, even if what you have right now is good. I think sometimes we get real caught up in like, oh, well, you have everything, or you got this on lock, or you know this, you got this, da 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 da. I can still have all of this and still want way more for myself. I can still have so many aspirations and goals. Don't never let nothing or nobody or anything, even your damn self, don't trick yourself out your mind or let nothing else trick you out your mind to make you think like, okay, well, this is good enough. It's always room for improvement. It's always room for elevation. So don't stay complacent, I would say, but also realize that if you somebody who I want to reach for the stars, don't dumb yourself down by feeling like, okay, well, what I got is good. I should be grateful for that, and you should. But that don't mean you can't go to newer heights. That don't mean you don't deserve to. Everything that you want, you should be able to have within reason. That's good for you and those around you, obviously. But I really, really want to put an emphasis on that. You are allowed to want more, and you can have more as long as you do more, right? Okay. I really want to put an emphasis on don't let nobody trick you out of your shit, because I think a lot of times we come across people, especially the people closest to us, and they'll try to make it seem like, oh, you got this on lock, you got this, you got that, you're good, you're good. No, bitch, I want more. I know I got 9 galaxies. I want 15. What the fuck? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Just keep that in mind. You are allowed to want more. You can have more. Just always do more. Okay? All right. So I want to tie this up with the last topic, because this is going into, like, I guess my future self, right? And so I named this segment what 34 is going to get access to. And so basically what I mean by this is just things, habits, or opportunities that I want to land, work on, or have in my normal routine as 34 is approaching, right? So it's more so like my little self checklist. So we're going to go down it together, okay? And maybe you can see like, hey, I kind of want to build a checklist for myself too. Let me think of some things. Let me add some things. Let me bite off Marissa a little bit. This is the only time I'm going to allow you to bite off me, okay? All right. So the first thing I put is emotional regulation. I feel as though I'm already emotionally intelligent, and I can peep things around me about myself. I'm very self-aware. And so I feel like emotional regulation is very big for me, just because, like I said, I did used to be reactive at one point. And so that's something that I think going into 34, it's going to be like an even playing field for me. Like, I don't have to worry about it because I've already been working on it, but I want to make sure that that's a habit that I have stick with me until I hit that grave, y'all. Okay? I don't care if I'm 86. I want to be emotionally regulated. All right? That's the first one. I feel like I've been working on this for like probably like the last 4 years, but my main thing is like, another thing is peace over performance. So I don't care to be a performative person, people pleaser, to do things to make people have a certain perception around me. If I have to let go of all of that to have my actual peace, and peace is boring sometimes, y'all, but if that's what I have to let go of in order to have that, that's what I'm on. 34, I'm on it now, but going into 34, that's definitely something that I'm keeping with me. I'm not performing for shit. Maybe for the good Lord. And it ain't really a performance if I'm doing it honest, right? So peace. Pick peace. Peace over performance always. Strategic moves. I've been very strategic, as y'all can see, but I've been very strategic like in the last 2 years. And so I think my thing now is I want to be more strategic just for future self. And honestly, if I could be a strategic planner for those around me, especially my loved ones, I want to be able to do that. I think sometimes things weigh heavier on us because we don't have a plan, because we don't have a strategy, we don't know where to start. And sometimes starting is just hitting that paper. Starting is just hitting that laptop with that research, or your phone, you know? So, and it could be like the easiest things like a budget versus the most complexity of things of like what I'm gonna do after I get my master's, or how do I want to go about my career, or, it could be anything, but that's something I really want to keep with me. Another thing is I want to be able to have joy that isn't earned through me having to suffer first. And what I mean by that is I want to be able to be happy even in the hard times, when the hard times feel like I'm going through the mud, but I still have joy and I see the other side of the rainbow. I feel like sometimes myself and maybe even others, maybe you at home, I would have times where like I'm going through something, but I'm getting through it. I'm going through it, but I'm getting through it. But I can't see the light in what I'm doing. So I'm just bah humbug. I just got a bad attitude. I'm irritated. I'm irritable. I'm not as happy. When the whole time there is pieces of lights that can bring me joy while I'm getting through it. But I'm letting the mud get me dirty and I can't see it. So that's another thing. I feel like in life, I think a lot of times it is hard to persevere and see the light at the end of the tunnel and still be happy and grateful and show gratitude in those moments. But I think it is very important to do so, to attract and to bless yourself later on with the exact very things that you're wanting or working towards or getting through. So I would say at home, definitely don't forget that. You still can find the joy in things even when it feel like you having to like really grit through, like you can still be joyful. You don't necessarily have to suffer. It might be hard to get through certain things. And then let me say this as a backup. Also, I want to say like in relationships, you don't have to like get joy after you done been burnt up. You don't have to have joy after you done got betrayed. You don't have to have joy after you realize like this is not the person you thought no more. You don't have to like go through all of this bad shit and then be like, okay, I can be happy now, or okay, now that I know. No, joy isn't earned through suffering or conflicts. It starts with you. So keep that in mind. So, 34, I'm looking forward to it. 34 is strong, and I think 34 is locked in for me. So I think we're going to be good there. I'm very excited. And I think I am going to do y'all a poll. I do want to do a birthday vlog so y'all can see how I live this fast life, man. It don't be fast all the time, but on the weekends, it get like that. No, I'm playing. To close out, I really want to say, number one, I appreciate everybody that always tunes in, that subscribes, that leave me a like, that reposts my stuff, that shares my stuff, that comments, likes anything, tell your mama, your daddy, your neighbor. I appreciate y'all. I can't always see it, and I don't always have time to respond, but y'all are the shit. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for that. We have got to the end of the Birthday Girl episode. So if you resonated with anything I said today, especially my hot takes, go ahead and drop in the comments. Tell me your hot take. Tell me what you think, right? Tell me how you think this episode made you feel, right? Send it to someone who you feel like might be getting through it, or somebody who need a laugh, or somebody who you always have hot takes with. But most importantly, please don't forget to hit that bell, subscribe, and drop me a like. Be a returning Candid crew member, please. My Patreon will start May 1st, y'all. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a lot of behind the scenes stuff you never seen, deleted raw footage episodes, all type of stuff. So y'all get on that. I'm going to drop the link in the description. Thank y'all so much for tuning in today. Tell me happy birthday in the comments. Don't do me that. Love y'all. See y'all next time. Bye.
Focus on me. Can you focus on me?